In today's video, I'm going to be teaching how to cut and sew this simple dress that is tied on both sides of the waist. It is very easy to make and then looks very beautiful in the end, as you can see. So if you're interested in it, kindly watch till the end. So I'm going to be using this brown paper to draft it, but then you can actually draft directly on your fabric. But then because of the nature, the print, the chalk might not be visible. That is why I'm making a pattern before placing it on my fabric. So first thing I'm going to be doing is to create my neckline, and then I'll be coming down by 3 inches, and then I'll go in by 3 inches as well for the neck width. So the neck width and neck depth is 3 inches. This is just to guide us in making the dress. After this, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to put in my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 14, divided by 2 is 7, so I'm marking 7 at that line, and then I'll be marking 7 inches throughout to the button, or to how long you want your outfit to be. So I'm marking that same 7 inches down, and then I'll go ahead and connect the points together with my ruler. What we're doing is to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant, and then I'll connect it to the neck area just like I am doing. So after that, labeling this F for front because the front neckline is deeper than the back, and in the back I'll be making it 1 inch. You can actually make it 1.5, 1 inch, or 2 inches. It all depends on the size of the head. The head should be able to enter. That is all that matters. So after that, I'll go ahead and connect it to the shoulder as well. So if you want to slant the shoulder a little bit, you can go in by 1 inch and then blend the line to the 7 inches we marked in. That is, if you want to show a little bit skin on the shoulder area, you can do it this way, and then just connect the points together. But then this is not how I'm going to be doing it. I'm just doing it to let you know you can actually do it this way. So you can actually connect from the shoulder through to the waist. But then for me, I'll be using the 7 inches throughout. That is my shoulder divided by 2. So this is the pattern we are going to be using for our dress, and then I'll go ahead and then cut out the excess from it. Note the length of this dress depends on you. So I'm using this fabric. I'm going to fold it into 2 plus 1 inch seam allowance on both sides, 1 inch seam allowance on both sides, which I'll be folding in to finish the raw edges of the dress. So you first have to lay your fabric like I have done, and then the next thing I'll do is to just place my pattern on top of it, pin it down, then go ahead and cut. Make sure you pin it down to prevent it from moving when you are cutting. This is the only way you get an accurate measurement. So after pinning it down, like I said, I'm putting on adding 1 into the side seam so that I'll be able to fold it in to finish the raw edges. And I'm using the full length of the fabric. So but then if you want to take measurements, make sure it is slightly above the knee, or you can be creative and do it however you want the length to be. So after that, I went ahead to cut it out, and then I went ahead to cut out the neckline for the back as well. So I added 1/2 inch to the neck area and then 1/2 inch to the shoulder. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the other parts. So either of the cutouts can be the front or the back. Since I'm only taking out the neckline for the back, so we can use either of it for the back. So I'll go ahead and then pin this down as well. That is the first piece I cut out. I'm going to pin it down on the fabric and then cut out a second piece, which can either be the front or the back depending on the depth of the neckline. So after that, I'll go ahead and then cut it out. After cutting out, I'll be picking one to shape it or shape the neck for it to be for the front. So I'll go ahead and then cut out this one, but then at the end of the day I realized the neck was very small. Since the human head size is 22 inches, you have to make sure the size of the neck is as big as 22 inches. So I'll be doing that later for you to see. So at this point I went ahead to mark 1 inch down, but then it still didn't work out, so I actually worked on the neck. So when I get to that area, I will let you know. So after cutting out the neck, this is going to be for the front. That is the one with a deeper neckline. Next thing I'll be doing is to open it up this way, and then I'll be folding the sides in by 1 inch. 1 inch on both sides, like I said earlier, and then the lower part or the hem, I'll go ahead and then fold 1 inch as well. That is how long I want it to be. So after sewing or stitching 1 inch in, next thing I'm going to be doing is to join the shoulder together. So I stitch the hem and then the side. Next thing is to join the shoulders together. So just place it on like I'm doing, pin it down, take it to your machine and stitch. So before you stitch, make sure right side is facing each other before you stitch. I actually turned it earlier, so make sure right side is facing each other before you join the shoulders together. So after joining the shoulders, I'm going to be working on the neckline. Like I said, it wasn't big enough, so I went ahead to measure it after joining, and then at the end of the day I had about 17.5 inches, which is 17 inches, which is very small. So the size of the average human head size is the size of the average human head is 22 inches. So make sure the neck is 22 inches wide. So I'm going to fold it this way and then measure it again to make sure of the measurement. So I had 8.5, but then it's supposed to be 11. So initially I marked 2 inches down at the front, half inch at the back, and then half inch around the shoulders, that part. So half inch in as well. But then after connecting the point together, I realized that 2 inches at the front was too big, so I made it 1 inch. Was too big, so I made it 1 inch at the front. So when you add all together, I dropped the front by 5 inches and then the back by 1.5 inches. So if you don't want to go through all this stress, just drop the front by 5 inches and then the back by 1.5 inches without adding seam allowance to it, and then you are good to go. So after measuring, I'm okay with the size of the neck, so I'll go ahead and then cut it out and then pipe it. You can actually decide to give this a facing if you want, but then I have decided, or I'll go ahead and then pipe it. That is easier to do. That is why I'm choosing that option. So after cutting it out, I'm okay with the sides. Like I said, I'll go ahead and then pipe it with my bias. So this is what I have, and I'm going to be using that. So what you have to do is to open it up like this and then just pin it round. But then before you pin it, make sure you fold the raw edge in. So you fold it in about 1/2 inch or 1 inch, but then make sure you open it up before you pin it down. Open it up and pin it down just like I'm doing. So you're going to pin it down all round. Take your time and pin it down, and then don't stretch or pull the neckline or the bias. Just pin it as it is. Do not stretch it. So when you get to the last end, make sure the bias crosses the initial one you pin. Let it cross about 1 inch. Then take it to your machine and stitch. You are making it cross because you don't want any raw edge or unfinished area when you finish sewing. So this is what you are going to get after that, and then you are going to just fold it down and then pin. Fold it down like I'm doing and then pin. Make sure you pin all around. After pinning it down, I'm going to take it to my machine and then stitch it. Pin it down before you stitch. You can see how I'm taking my time to pin everything down. Pinning helps you to sew fast and then prevents unnecessary mistakes. So I went ahead to join or stitch it down. As you can see, it is lying down flat. So we are almost done with this. Next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out a piece of fabric. So the length actually depends on you. The length of this is 22, and then the width is about 6.5 inches. What I'm going to do is to fold it into two like this and then stitch. After stitching, I'm going to turn it, or make sure the seam is at the center. It's at the center like this, and then I'm going to stitch the lower part. So make sure the seam is at the center this way, and then stitch that area down. After stitching it down, turn it out. Turn it out and make sure the edge is pointy, so you can use your scissors or pencil to pin the side so that it comes out nice. So you need 4 pieces of this. Next, I'm going to be putting my dress down, and then I'm going to be measuring from the shoulder to waist measurement. Remember, my shoulder to waist is 16, but then I dropped the shoulder by 1 inch. So don't forget to add that 1 inch when you are marking. So since I've taken 1 inch from it, from that shoulder area, I'll be marking 15 inches. But then if you want to mark 16, make sure the one is higher than the neckline, and then just mark your shoulder to waist measurement. I hope what I said is clear. So just mark that point, and then the next thing you're going to be doing is to take one of these and then just place the center on the marked line. Place the center on the marked line. So you are going to be doing this on all 4 sides. So I'm working on the front at the moment. So just place it on this way and then pin, and then after working on the front, you go ahead and then work on the back. So when you place it on, make sure you are stitching 1 inch. Let it follow the line of the 1 inch you folded in. So after that, next thing you are going to be doing is to turn it over. So just flip it on like this and then stitch that area down. After stitching it down, that will be all for the tutorials. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos. See you another time. Bye.